My name is Mary Brashears, and today I want to talk to you about the importance of student-to-teacher ratios within the classroom. Over the years, education has become a huge priority to many. According to the Tennessee Public School Review website, as of 2019, the average student-to-teacher ratio is 16:1. This matter is very important because the number of children in public education continues to rise yearly. This leaves many teachers with full classrooms, and it ends up affecting the student's education because it doesn't allow for enough one-on-one time with each student. I began educating myself on this subject when I realized the number of students in public schools was rising drastically each year. By no means does this make me an expert on this topic, but I have become familiar with the issue at hand, and I wish to educate others on this matter in order to make the public school systems best. We need to educate ourselves on this issue and encourage parents, teachers, and students to take a stand for the children in our community. The education and their future depends on this. Everyone should be alarmed by the number of children placed within each classroom. Important measures should be taken in order to change the lives of these children and teachers. Students will have a better future if each is given more attention and patience within the classroom. First, let's discuss the effects of high classroom numbers here on the students and education and their relationship with their teachers. According to the Glossary of Education Reform, the student-to-teacher ratio is defined as the relationship between the number of students enrolled in a school, district, or education system and the number of full-time teachers that are placed within the school, district, or system. A student's attention span is greatly affected by the classroom numbers, which often results in poor behavior and grades. According to the article, The Advantages and Disadvantages by Class Sizes, a study conducted by 3 professors at the University of London found that in larger classrooms, students were less engaged. In this photo, you will see that the teacher is teaching to this class, and since there are so many students, it's hard for these students to stay engaged. And they're also very young children too, so I'm guessing elementary school. And their attention spans are not the greatest. If we lowered classroom sizes, these students would be able to pay more attention, and this ultimately would affect their grades and behavior. While teachers often do their best to check in with as many students as possible during the course of the period, an abundance of students simply means that the teacher won't have the time. This is what Carrie Jabori, author of The Adverse Effects of Larger Classrooms on Students Today, has said. And when students know that their relationship with their teacher is important and classwork is their responsibility, it helps the students stay more interested with their assignments and creates a better learning environment. Larger classroom settings put children's learning environment at risk by not allowing enough time from relationships to students, as shown in this picture. Teachers are also affected by classroom settings. I created an online survey for teachers to answer, and many of them responded the same way. In quotes, they said, "Larger classes definitely affect the learning environment because it is harder to monitor and manage a large class while teaching a smaller one." Many of the teachers on my survey responded this way. They simply feel that larger classroom settings don't allow enough patience for the kids. Many of these kids have different strengths and weaknesses that they need to be addressed, and teachers are not allowed to do that if they have 30 plus kids in a class to teach to. This was a generic response from many who were surveyed, and it is obvious that a teacher takes on much of the responsibility of controlling the students. Aside from the chaos that occurs in a large classroom, mostly all of the teachers who responded to the survey said something along the lines of juggling the needs in the classroom is the biggest challenge when it comes to teaching. Many teachers are affected by this because each student needs something different and they are not able to give each child enough attention. Then how are the students going to grow from their mistakes? Relationships and behavior are at stake when it comes to classroom sizes. According to the survey that I took online, many teachers agreed that their students' behavior was impacted by the number of students within each class. Larger classrooms are an opportunity for misconduct and misbehaved children when the teacher cannot pay attention at every second. This bad behavior can be carried throughout the student's life and manifest into a larger issue later on. After observing some of Tennessee's large classroom effects, we can discuss a solution for this issue. Although everyone's opinion differs on this matter, I believe classroom size reduction should be mandatory throughout every school system. Tennessee already has a program in place called Project STAR, which is a program that was designed to determine the effects of smaller classroom sizes. The study found that smaller class sizes led to less children being retained and a higher graduation rate. Researchers also reported that the effects of small classroom sizes from kindergarten to third grade lasted all the way through high school. Students from small classes are more likely to graduate from high school on schedule and less likely to drop out. And more students are also more likely to be enrolled in honors classes and to graduate in the top 10% of their class if they come from a small class size. As stated in the article supporting research, Class Size Project STAR, the research results show that limiting the number of students in each classroom is beneficial in more ways than one, and I believe that it should be mandatory for every school. And in this picture, you will see a graph that comes from Project STAR, and it shows the importance of Project STAR and reducing classroom sizes. Over here you see the effects of sizes, and these on the bottom are the grade levels. The blue represents reading and the orange represents math. The lower the classroom sizes, the higher the results on the test. The academic effects seem to be largest when introduced earlier on in a student's career and from those who are less advantaged in their family backgrounds. Teachers also benefit from this change because it helps them become more prepared and feel more on top of knowing every child's needs. Now that we have gone over this issue and I have proposed a possible solution, I hope that you will take into consideration the major effects that this matter can cause. With Tennessee being the first state to take effect to fix this problem, I hope this can cause a ripple effect throughout the rest of the country so this problem can come to an end and children's education become better. Everyone in every community is affected by this problem, regardless if you are a student, a parent to the student, or even if you're the teacher. This issue will affect your community's future. If you still aren't concerned after hearing all this, just think about how you would feel if your child wasn't getting the education that they deserved. Well, how would you feel then? If you're willing to help our education system soar, then please contact your local school board and voice your concerns. Thank you.